I tell you guys honestly, I used to look at, I had 4 girls, right? And my wife and my girls went through hell during the season. My wife had to do everything, because I was just football and that was it. But I tell everybody, I didn't have any sons. I had 44 sons. And I was going to teach them life lessons, things that made me successful in what I did, and make sure they got it. Because I tell you, some of these kids, they don't have it at home. You got to tell them.
Yeah.
And I used to tell my kids, the day I get one call from your mom or your dad, did you incest them or you never do your chores because you said you had to go football practice? You're not going to be able to walk when you leave this field. No calls from home. It's your parents. You do whatever you got to do, you know?
Yeah.
And they knew it. He says, I get on call, he said, he got to go practice so he can finish this or whatever. Get on the line.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Curtis Pooley here, bringing you your Real Talk Maui podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm here with my cousin Brian.
What's up, everybody?
My brother Jonah.
Yes, sir.
And before we even start the podcast tonight, I'd like to just shout out the 500 subscribers that we hit. Shout out to you guys. I don't even think we know 500 people, right?
Negative.
So, shout out to the 500 guys subscribed to the channel. Pass them over to
tonight
Jonah.
we have one real special guest, not just to me, but to our family and pretty much to Maui. You know, one of somebody I looked up to from a very young age and till today. You know, just a great person, and people know him as Coach, but we know him as Papa. We're blessed to know him as our Papa. But without further ado, Coach Curtis Lee.
Yes,
What's up?
What's up, Pop?
welcome.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad you guys think I'm worthy of being part of you guys' podcast.
Oh,
Definitely,
of course.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. You know,
Busy. What you been up to, Papa?
Well, just, what retirees do. Playing golf. I play golf. I take care of my orchids. People who know me might be shocked that, actually I raise orchids and stuff because my reputation as a coach and not quite, but, I kind of throughout my life, I wanted to be what my high school principal told me, be the Renaissance man. Don't just do one thing. Do a lot of things and do it well, but you got to specialize in something. So, I did that too. Of course, you guys know what it is.
That's definitely something I always remember, even when we were young, the orchids always being at Papa's house.
Yeah. I remember having to water the orchids.
But it would never be dead or look like it was dying. It would always be
full of life. Full
perfect.
of life.
So,
nice color and everything.
Everything.
When you got into that, Papa?
Orchids, I always had a green thumb. Actually, as far as growing things, it started when I was really young, like grade school. My mom used to have plants, and I was the only one in the family used to care for them. For some reason, you just you find your niche, and very few things die when I try to grow them and whatever. But later on, how I really started the orchid thing was I was in the hospital at one time, and my high school principal brought me a orchid plant, and then I went home and I was convalescing, and the plant died, left them outside, and then when I was well, I replanted it, and grew it, and did real well, and that's how it started. From then, I started picking up orchids here and there. I go to the different functions, like Lexus would have something. I go look at the cars that have all the dead orchids from the grand opening and whatever, and I tell the guys, hey, I can take that home. I took them home, man. If you see those orchids today, you'd be amazed. I have orchids that I've had for 40 years from when he was a baby.
Oh wow!
Really,
orchids,
I have them. It's blooming right now.
Yeah, how much you get like in total? We're talking double digits.
No, we talk maybe 50 or so.
Okay.
But right now I have like maybe 20 blooming. So, and I always have an orchid blooming all the time during the year. At least one plant that's blooming, and if they're not real big, because I have some huge ones. I bring it upstairs to my man cave. But I always, again, that's my not soft spot, but I appreciate beauty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, they're beautiful.
The flowers is.
Yeah. And that's the gentle side of it.
Yeah.
Because that's different. That's why I had in actual plants. That's why growing orchids. You gotta care for them more, or
people think they're hard to grow, and they may be, but overall, and this is another thing about me. It's kind of my philosophy too. If they die, they die. You know what I mean? The guy don't make the team. He don't make the team. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's how it is. But with the orchids, I've been real fortunate.
Yeah. Is there like a, I don't know, maybe one of your favorites, but like, was it like your first one that you saw go from dead to back to life? Like, what was one of your favorites?
Well, like I said, I have one blooming now.
Yeah.
That I bought when Kurt was a toddler. He was 1 year old, so it's been the plant.
I'm about to be 34 years old, so
the plant is at least 35 years old.
Yeah.
And I bought that at the Upcountry Fair. They had an orchid show. The parent of this plant was a grand champion, and the people who grew it was the Diaz family from Kihei, and we kind of family too. And I said, "Well, I like one of those." And so they gave me one of the plants, and it's blooming right now. I mean, it's
right? It's still going.
That's neat.
So, and I'm really proud of that because, like, again, the longevity and you care for them, put them in the right spots, and that's what I do. I move markets around during the season because some of them like more sun, some of them don't.
Plus a whole thing.
So you got to know a little bit about each plant.
You're not just watering them every day. Like you really doing all kinds of
orchids,
stuff.
I killed a lot of orchids because I overwatered them, or not overwater really. You can water them every single day, but the water has to drain. Completely.
Oh, it's just sitting.
Yeah, you cannot sit in the pot. The roots going to die. And then there's orchids you have in full sun. Like you guys see them in my front yard. And then there's orchids, if I put them there, they're going to be dead in 3 days. So you got, you got to kind of know each one.
Of course.
Like, again, when I started, I joined the Orchid Society. You can do something, do it right? You know what I mean? If you can do that, then go join the Orchid Society. Talk to people who know what they're doing. It's like anything you do in life, you decide to do something, then make up your mind if you can do it or not, first of all. If you are, then try to be the best that you can. Now, you don't have to be the best from all the orchid growers in the world, but nobody better than me on my street anyway.
That's kind of something that I bet you not a lot of people know about you. That you into.
I guarantee those football players used to pass by it's Coach Lee watering stuff. Coach Lee's house.
I bet you right now get some of his players that say watching the video and they're like, "Cause I never know he was gonna start off with orchids."
I've had friends come by and go, "God, I didn't know you had all this. This look like an orchid show." I would never think you would do this. And again, my players, they look at it and go, "Coach Lee, soft side." I never saw that before.
Everything needs a yin and a yang. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Balance.
That's right. And right now that I'm older and retired and stuff, I play golf 3 days a week. But the rest of the day, I'm with my orchids. I'm in the yard. I clean the yard. I just enjoy doing that. So I'm not bored. I don't watch TV programs hardly ever. And I go out, and if it rains for 3 days, you won't find one very upset person because I need to be outside. My mom taught me that kids belong outside.
Agreed.
Still in kid and hot, right? So,
Speaking of your mom, pops, like what was like for you growing up on Maui?
Well,
back when you was on
whoever you become, it all starts with your parents, right? So my parents, they were. I don't know how to. Well, you learn from them. You learn by example, first of all, right? And then you learn by the rules and what standards, not standards, but what is okay, what is not okay, and you just watch them as an example. Like my dad, for example, he went to 8th grade. He never graduated. He never went to high school. Grew up in Huelo. No money.
Yeah. Deep haiku.
Kind of poor. But went to the 8th grade. But ended up going to into the military. He became a lieutenant colonel in the National Guard. He was the island commander now when he retired from Maui, Molokai, and Lanai.
Oh, and that's like back in the day. So
that was back in the day. So he was the commander for the 3 islands, the National Guard, yeah. And then he was an engineer at HCNS.
Yeah.
I mean, an engineer with the 8th grade,
Right?
That's
For real.
crazy.
Yeah. And then, he was a smart man, but he worked hard. Again, that's where you learn values. You want to do something. And then my mom was a stay-home mom, but she would go work every summer. So she would work at Levy Cannery. And in those days, that was common.
Yeah.
A lot of the moms were stay-home moms, but they went to work during the summer, so they could buy the kids clothes for school.
Yeah.
So, you got new clothes every year September. You wasn't gonna get anything new the rest of the year. And then she would buy the essentials, the notebooks. We didn't have backpacks, so you take one old rice bag and put your books in there if you like. But no, but she worked, and that money went all to our supplies, clothing and supplies for school. So. I gave her credit for that, man. But again, they knew what they wanted. And, So and then I grew up with my brothers and sisters, and now we're getting older. I've had 3 of my siblings pass already, so it's just me and my brother Solomon. But we had a good life though.
Yeah.
And I grew up. Well, I was born in Punane. We moved to Pukalani when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
And then my dad bought this house in Pukalani that we still own. My brother owns that house, but and then so I went to Mahalo school till the 8th grade, and I was Koloe. I was pretty bad. But,
I was pretty bad.
Yeah, but
seems like that's some common thing with all the guys that come on our show.
Everybody on our podcast
I was
pretty bad.
Yeah, I was bad.
In those days, you could paddle the kids.
Yeah.
And they don't want me to talk about this today, but we got. I think they was gonna put my name on the paddle when I graduated from Mahalo School, 8th grade. Mr. Bill Tavares told me, "Boy, I don't think anybody got this more than me." But from 3rd, 4th grade, same thing. But that's the way I was. But I don't think I ever went overboard. I mean, and I took it like I did something wrong. Turn around.
Yeah.
Get a cup of wax. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go out the next day, do them again. But the next time you're a little smarter, so you don't get caught. No. Yeah.
So when you when you got into really enjoy football, or when you got into football?
See, I was always physical too. See, and I tell people the story. Like when I was about 7th, 8th grade or so, I started realizing I had a little more talent than some other people, and I love being physical. I just enjoy being physical. Now, the greatest athlete in my family was my sister Leona. Because
shout out to Leona.
Yeah, I could never outrun her. I'll just make it quick. But you go to her room and get all these blue ribbons for track, right? As first place. My room get all 2nd and 3rd place. But no, anyway, so. I used to enjoy it. I used to walk from our house in Pukalani to, it used to be called Cornmeal Camp, where the fire station is in Pukalani.
Okay.
So that's not even a mile, but I'd wake up in the morning. Most days I'd be there.
Still, you get that hill. That's all uphill, huh?
Yeah. Well, not really. And then I'd walk to Makawao every Saturday or Sunday if I heard had one football game. And we'd walk you never thought about it, and I'd be playing with 8th graders and high school kids and
just pick up games kind of.
Yeah, but I just
You fell in love with it.
I loved it. I mean, and then when I went to high school, the thing, one of my greatest motivators, which brought me to where I am now, but when I went to high school, my coach told me, he said, I heard about you, you get on bad rap, and you're not playing for me if you can be like that. And if you're not going to school, you're not going to classes, you're not doing that, you're not playing. Mm-hmm. And he knew, I think, like in my heart, this is what I wanted. Yeah. And in those days, never have 2.0 now. Mm-hmm. So this was his own rule.
What was that, Baldwin or Maui High?
Maui High.
Oh, Maui High.
Yeah. And so, because his wife was a teacher at Mahalo School, so she told him all the stories, I guess. But I mean, that's what made, like everybody tries to find something they can do better than other people, right? Because that's for your whole ego and whatever, and that's what I did. But he's the one that pointed me in the right direction. He says, you want to do this, you're going to have to follow the rules. And in my high school, my coach and my teachers in high school, see, in grade school, they always used to tell me, oh, you're just a troublemaker. Mm-hmm. You never make it. And my gang, we had 4 of us we had 5 of us. 3 never made it to high school, Yeah. 1 ended up in prison and whatever. So they were right about them, but they were wrong about me. Yeah. But and that's the main thing. Yeah. So, and then talking about Mr. Tavares too. Like I was saying, right? He said this paddle would be. Well, inscribe your name. Mm-hmm. Well, when I got my scholarship to go to Kansas State University. Of course, he hadn't seen me in high school, but they knew about me through the Maui News, and because I was a pretty good football player, so my name was in the papers all the time. And then I got a scholarship to go to Kansas State, and one day I'm in my class, and I get called to the principal's office as a senior now. But by now, I don't go principal's office, what I mean? And I'm going, what's up? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I walk down there, and Mr. Tavares is there, and he says, I read in the Maui News that you got a scholarship to go to Kansas State. He says, I had to come here and congratulate you.
And he came and congratulated you?
No, I mean, that man, to have that happen, right? Yeah. And I've had other teachers who, even though I became a teacher, a principal, they still never... acknowledge that. Yeah. And I look at them. I'm sitting in the district office now. I'm a vice principal at Maui High, and sitting across one of my ex-teachers or whatever, and who's a vice principal. And I'm going like,
what's up now?
If I'm a scrub, and I'm, whatever, and I'm sitting here, then what does that say about you? I'm not telling you that, right? Yeah. But I'm thinking it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, I can go on, because football obviously brought me to where I am today. But football, the greatest thing football did for me was it made me go to college. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And whoever I talked to, for the Hawaiian community and any kid, actually, kids who had problems growing up, because if you can get an opportunity to prove people wrong, to me, you know what I mean? Like, I smile when I see certain people, you know what I mean? But my coach, I was a pretty good football player, and I loved it, and I was total discipline, did whatever I needed to do to get better, and
So Kansas, they really want to recruit you just off of like hearing about you in the news. There wasn't no video.
Yeah, what was the recruitment?
You had film. Yeah, you had to put together film.
I tell everybody this story because this is to me one of the funniest stories, but it's so true. See, I was a senior, and my coach again, Shine Matsui, and in fact, I'm the one who had that gym in Maui High named after him. Because I was there as a vice principal, principal, coach, so I had a lot of pull, in when I was coaching. I mean, I was Coach Lee, whatever he likes, So I decided we're going to name that gym after him. But so what happens was, in my senior year, so freshman year I moved up to the varsity, and I'm playing with all these guys. And the first thing they tell the coach is, "Wow, this guy, he not scared nobody." And I say, "Oh yeah, in the locker room, you come after me, I run it, bro. On the football field, something else." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, so senior year, and he says, he tell me, "I want to go to college." I said, "Coach, I cannot go to college. My parents and us, we got hard time. My parents cannot send me to college." He says, "No, I'm going to help you get on scholarship, And at that time, a lot of people were going to Linfield. Roger DeCiju and Machida and those guys out of Maui High went to Linfield. But Linfield was financial aid, So if you needed aid or whatever, they didn't have a full scholarship. And I'm going like, I'm not going there. I mean, my parents don't have money. That's all. Yeah. Growing up, I'll tell you guys this real quick sidetrack. You see, my father worked ACNS, right? My mom was a housewife. At the end of the month, when I was 7th, 8th grade, whatever, I remember looking for a quarter in the house so we could go buy one loaf of bread. Oh. Yeah, because ACNS, you got paid once a month. They had the honor system. So you go to Super Rat and your mom gave you the list and you give it to the lady or you go pick it up and then they write it all down. And at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, when my dad get his check, he go in and pay the bill. You know what I mean? Yeah. But sometimes at the end of the month, we're looking for a quarter to go buy one loaf of bread so we can eat breakfast. Yeah. And in school we had was different, but at least we had one solid meal a day. But don't get me wrong, we always ate. We never was hungry. And my mom always made sure I had enough food. Sometimes you look back, you wonder how they did it, but always had food. You never went hungry. I remember going sidetrack again, but I've got to get back to how I went to Kansas State. But I remember when I first went up there the first year, and we were in practice, and I was living in the dorms because Kansas State didn't have an athletic facility at that time. Today, everybody get the athletic dorms and all this. So we used to eat with the dorm guys, and we practiced because we were screwing up, and the coach kept us later and later. It was dark. Went back, and the cafeteria was closed. I want to tell you guys, I sat in my room, and I cried. Because that was the first time in my life I went without dinner. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? So, again, and my mom, right? Yeah. And so, that's part of going to college. You realize what you get at home. Even this island, I can tell you stories about the first time I came home and I saw the island. It's like this first time I saw Maui in my life. My eyes was, because now I went to Kansas for 9 months. And it's like all plain corn and Seagram and whatever, and you fly into Maui and go, wow, I never saw this before. Yeah. So stuff like that. But let's get back to
the recruitment.
The recruitment process.
Yeah. So I'm a senior in high school. Coach Matsui tell me, he wants me to go. He wants me to go, no, I'm not going. You can get one, I was going in the Army. He says, no, if I get you a full ride scholarship, will you go? I said, yeah, I'll go. So he tells me, okay, go to the library and go get the Sunday paper and find out what is the worst Division I school in the United States. So I went. At that time, Kansas State had lost 30 straight games. They were number one. They were number one on the bottom 10, 3 years straight. He gets the paper. He tells me, that's where you're going to college. I'm going, really? So he tells me, so I don't know, this man, he just said, I don't know why, till today I still don't know why. He had so much belief in me and faith in me. And I think part of that was because my parents were great parents and they were great boosters. Anything you want, my parents would do. You know what I mean? And I think that was part of it. But part of it, he just saw something in me. Again, I don't know. So anyway.
That's all it takes is just one guy to believe.
Oh, no, but this man, is he went beyond the call. So what he does, we're going to play preseason that year. We're playing Roosevelt. Roosevelt had this guy, Warner Wong. He ended up playing in the pros. He ended up playing at... but anyway, they won the OAA the previous year.
Okay.
And we're playing them preseason. It's one bunch of apes you're going up against. We're playing them at the fairground. So Coach Matsui flies in a film crew from Honolulu, right? And in those days, now you're talking reel to reel. So these guys got to come with this big camera and shoot. It's not like today you just shoot one video and you get, all these tapes and whatever. So he flies these guys in and videos the game. So I ran, in my memory, I ran for like 100 yards that night. Now, might have been 40, I don't know.
We're going to go by 100.
I think it was 200.
But whatever it was, there's one tape. He mailed it to Kansas State. Kansas State writes back, they're willing to offer me a full scholarship.
Of one tape?
After the preseason game?
He sent it in, and he sent it in, and they're doing the recruiting because they're in season 2, right? Yeah. And then the Maui News articles and all this stuff, right? Send them all in, and at the end of the season, after all the Maui News, everything came out, they offered me a full ride. So that's how I ended up going to Kansas State because I wasn't going, unless it was a full ride.
Yeah. So it's more like on resume. Not like nowadays it's highlight film, like, but then now it's like you film and then the news articles. Like it's just like on whole different.
Today it's a whole production thing, and you have people that have businesses setting up these things for the kids so they can go to college, So they have all this video and all that. But in those days, with one video sent away, I was an average student, but my coaches, my teachers in high school, it was a big change because they didn't know they might have heard about me as in 8th grade, but they only knew me from freshman year as a football player and a student and whatever. And then after my freshman year, they stopped putting me in college prep classes, and I'm going like. Really? But the first time I came home with one book, my mom almost fainted. But they started, from my sophomore year, they started, you go to college. You're not as dumb as you think you are. You're not dumb. And my high school teachers, I tell you, they were the ones. And a couple of them I worked with them at Maui High, Mr. Howard Omura, and I forget his name right now, but he was the principal over there, the one that gave me the orchid, and he was my he was my history teacher at Maui High. And he's the guy that told me, Calvin Yamamoto, become the Renaissance man. Don't just do one thing. Do a lot of things, but do them all well. And so I had those type of people, pushing me. Let me tell you guys a lot of quick story.
Bring it on.
For me, it's funny.
That's perfect.
So I go Maui High, right? So I'm in Maui High, and I have this. They put me in this. It was history class, I think, or U.S. history, or whatever it was. And I walk in the classroom, and I'm with all the smart kids from Akawao, you know what I mean? And I never went to any other classes. And now I'm in that class, and the haiku kids, and I'm going like, wow, what are you doing in this class? So, and this is a true story. But so I'm sitting there, and this teacher tells us, an older Howley lady, and she tells us, one of your first assignments is you have to memorize all the 50 states and all the capitals. And all the guys around me, all the smart kids going, really? We learned that in the 6th grade. You know what I mean? We learned it in 5th grade, really? And she went, when I was high school, I had to learn all the states and capitals. And I out loud, I said, yeah, but I only had 13 states. You, out of here. Go see the principal. I tell the principal the story. He's falling off his chair. But anyway, obviously, I never stayed in that class.
You cannot not laugh at that.
You know, I'm that kind of person too. I just say what's on my mind, which is not always the best thing to do.
It's good for podcasts.
Right?
Yeah,
It's good for
Funny.
podcasts.
yeah. So anyway, Shine again. He sends me off to college, and I'm there a couple of years. I was taking classes and whatever, and then my sophomore year. If you want me to get into my football, my college and stuff.
Yeah.
Go.
So my sophomore year, I get injured, spring ball, I break my ankle. I'm not going to play my sophomore year. So I go back, they redshirt me, and I get treated like, you got to get out of here because we need your scholarship.
Oh, wow.
You're not playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Waste money.
Yeah.
Money.
Well, after our freshman year, we were one of the winningest teams. We won like 3 out of 4 games. At Kansas State you made history, right? The freshman team was touted as one of the best. Our sophomore year, after that freshman year, the varsity coach gets fired. They hired this guy, Vince Gibson from Tennessee. He comes in and everything is daggum this and daggum, because they're from Tennessee, and I'm going like, this guy, what language he talking?
Mater?
But he pulls us in there, and the first meeting of the freshman class, we all sitting, he says, I'm going to tell you guys something. All of you need to leave. I didn't recruit any of you guys. I'll do whatever I need to do to help you guys get a scholarship somewhere. We sitting there in total shock. I mean, we're looking at each other like, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until today, we still talk about that.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah. And then, real quick, because this relates to my coaching. The first time when I walked into the first meeting we had, on the board, he put up this word KISS, KISS, right? And I'm going, what is all this about, right?
Yeah.
Well, you guys probably know now, right? It's keep it simple, stupid. 2 things happened when I read that sign, honestly, until today. That was my slogan. Keep it simple if you can coach, right? And number 2, I was big on slogans. My players will tell you, I had all kinds, printed all over the place. Because in my mind was, you got to relate to something. At Maui High, in our locker room, it was, a quitter never wins, a winner never quits. Till today.
Yeah.
At the gym in Maui High, in the locker room, in the classroom, I had that sign ever. And then it became a whole bunch of other things.
I remember never surrender.
Never surrender
no
was
pain, no gain.
Yeah, never surrender was when I started coaching. And
okay.
that was the first year. And you know how we got that song and that theme was UH. I was watching UH preseason, and I don't know if it was Wagner or who the coach was that year. And you know how they're showing the preseason thing, and they played that song. Oh, okay. And I'm listening to this song, and I'm going, God, you know what I mean? It's my song. You know what I mean? So, but they played this, and that's how I got them. But that was our team, and my players bought into it.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you. You talk to my players who played, guys who played for me, and they'll tell you, we would never quit.
Also, and just kind of for track back a little bit, because we was talking about you going up from Maui High to Kansas and all that. What was it like for you at that time? Because for us, we kind of exposed now to how the mainland is, right? How it can be. For you, how was that? And also, like how you said, your slogans and stuff. Did that kind of like help you get through like your hard times up there? Like, was it because I'm pretty sure you probably was like one of the only guys from Hawaii. Or
Oh yeah.
So you never really have somebody to help you out through that. So
see, part of it was Kansas State. Then after I got the scholarship from Kansas State, you'd be amazed. I started getting letters from Idaho. I got letters from Boise. I had UH call me up. They willing to give me a full ride. None of these guys, even UH, kind of bother me, you know what I mean? Like, you was nobody until somebody else like you. Now all of a sudden you're somebody.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had my mind made up. I wasn't going UH, and I wasn't going to any West Coast school because I knew that I would only get into trouble. Too many Hawaii guys. I the kind of guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once I get started, like be,
Yeah.
But and I says, I don't want to be around Hawaii guys.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's going to be. It's like over here and whatever, Although I wasn't Pilau in high school, I became a different person because of football.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, how was it?
I'm not going there.
How was it though, going to Kansas,
No,
like being
so,
from
yeah.
Hawaii and just that shock, like
First
that
time,
culture?
First time I go
change.
to the mainland, right? I mean, I've been to Honolulu and stuff, and now I'm going to the mainland, and I'm going to Kansas. So my parents, again, they had to find money to pay for the airfare and stuff like this. So it's already one burden.
Yeah.
And then my mom takes me to Honolulu, and I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to Kansas. You know what I mean? Like, where the hell is this place? And I get on a plane. So we land in L.A., right? And L.A. was all smog already at the time. And we're landing, and he says, we're coming down for landing, whatever. And you look outside, and all you see is smog and clouds. Right? I'm going like, wow, we landed in the right place.
We can see the pilot.
Yeah. See, so you get to Kansas, and then from there you catch another plane, then catch another plane to Manhattan. So I'm going to Manhattan, Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah, Manhattan, not Manhattan, New York,
Yeah,
right? Manhattan,
Kansas.
Kansas. It's a small town, but it's a big school. It's what they call a college town, right? So if you get 30,000 people, 25,000 is students. That type of stuff. Now here's the other thing. Like today's kids, my grandkids, and even my daughter guys. But I used to write my mom one letter every week because I'd write her one letter. Say Sunday night, I write her one letter, right? So it's going to take 4 days to reach Hawaii, right? And then it's going to take another 4 days before I get a letter from her, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So you're looking at one letter every 2 weeks you get. You know what I mean? And then, and a funny thing, I wrote to my mom the whole time, And then I would make, once a month, I could call her. So I go to the payphone, and you get $3 in quarters. I don't know if it was how many minutes it was, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And that's what
It's
you
big
had.
time.
You dial a number, the lady said drop $1.25 or whatever it was in there, and you talk for 3 minutes and drop another whatever in there. And then so as a college kid, the college kids, we're all smart, right? These guys figure out how to work the machine. So when you drop the quarters, if you press the hang up dial, the quarters go right through. But the operator don't know that. So but anyway, yeah. So, I'm up there, and then I miss my mom, and then...
That's pretty nuts, though, before you continue on, because nowadays you can just call your mom every single second.
FaceTime 5-6 times a day.
FaceTime them all
talking
day
to my
if you like.
granddaughter.
They can
Anytime
watch
you
it.
want to call and whatever,
It's
So
like you never left.
Yeah, for you once a month, man. That's
the kids
tough,
tell
man.
me they go up there to get homesick. I go, something's wrong. You don't own one phone or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was tough.
Yeah.
And then and then I played, and then my sophomore year I got injured, and then I had my my daughter my sophomore year. So, and I'm not playing, and they treated me like they like my scholarship.
Yeah.
They let me out of it, and I'm going like I'm not going to bring my get married, bring my family over here in this situation. So I came home. I kind of decided I'm gonna work. So I came home that summer, and I just got out of the hospital, so I was still not able to run or anything. And I reached Maui. I told my mom and dad, I need to borrow the car. I'm at the airport now. I said, what? Where you going? You just got home. I gotta go see Coach. So they're going, really? Yeah, I gotta go see him. Because, well, so I go up to his house, and I'm apologizing. I said, Coach, I'm not going back. I never make it. I'm so sorry, all this stuff. He looks at me, he going, what you talking about? He's going, UH. And I'm going, Coach, I cannot run, and whatever. He said, no, you're going back to school. You're going UH. At that time, they had just hired this guy, Dave Holmes. So Coach Matsui now. The next thing I knew, I get one call from Coach Holmes, right? So I know he called, he contacted him, whatever. And so now I'm getting a call from Coach Holmes. He's telling me, oh, I heard you went to Kansas State. Your coach called me and all this. He says, I says, Coach, I'm injured. I'm not running full speed, right? I don't know if I'm going to be ready by September, whatever. He tells me, okay, let's make a deal. He goes, I'll give you a full ride for 1 year. If you play, we continue. If you don't play, we discontinue. So I'm going, sounds like a deal to me, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now I'm married. My wife's going to school, right? So he says 1 year. Now we go Honolulu. Mm-hmm. So I go see Coach Matsui. He said, no, you're going to school, you know. And then he gets me this summer job at Aloha Airlines. And when I go Honolulu, I can work over there part-time if I want. Mm-hmm. He's doing all this for me now, you know what I mean? Like, but anyway, so we go to Honolulu. My scholarship is a full ride, right? So in a full ride, you get $135 a month to live on. Mm-hmm. And I get my wife and my child. Yeah. I get one beat-up 55 Chevy. The Kitagawa's boy sold to me for I don't know what. And I'm going, okay, whatever, but I'm going to play ball. And then my wife was going to school too, but she took very little classes because main thing was I could get my education. Mm-hmm. So I played the 1 year. So I was able to play. Coach Larry Price was the defensive coordinator. He inspired me, came over every day, stop limping. He was the defensive coordinator now. I'm a running back. Yeah. He runs across the field, stop limping, runs back. Nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was on every special team because he was the special teams coach. Mm-hmm. Put me on every special team. I was the second team running back. So after that year, I'm going, oh, but we're struggling food-wise. Yeah. Here's another thing. So my baby, she's 1 year old, not even 1 year old, Joni. So she's born in May, and this is like September, whatever. So she gets sick. This doctor calls me. He tells me, oh, Curtis, we talk. He says, Shine Matsui called me. I'm good friends with Shine. I hear you got a baby. He says, yeah. He says, anytime that baby needs to go to a doctor, you bring him to me.
Wow,
he's a pediatrician. My coach called him and told him, I have this boy in Honolulu. He has a baby. I know they're struggling. If something happens. Yeah, honestly, I get the call from this doctor. You bring him to me. Never received one bill for I was there 2 years.
Wow, that's so. Even today, that's you know what I mean. That's
no. I'm telling you, when I start talking about that man, I mean, I love my dad and our family, but for me and my career, the things this guy did, I mean, so then I go back to my second year and whatever, and then so I play. I'm the leading scorer. I'm a second string running back, but every time you get inside of 10, they put Curtis Lee in, or inside of 5 actually, because these 6'2", 220-pound running backs, they cannot score on the goal line. They can run all over the field though.
Yeah.
So I got the nickname from Coach Price. He used to call me Curtis Lee, the Maui Eel.
The Maui Eel.
The Maui Eel. And if you think about it, right, Lee and Eel is backwards. But Coach Price was one of the most brilliant guys, and he was smart, man. Mm-hmm. He played in the hula bowl and all this kind of stuff. But he just, again, he just took a liking to me and said, And so I was a leading scorer. I wasn't anywhere close to being the leading rusher or anything because I already played when we got to the 2-yard line. I guess I could squeeze in or whatever. But anyway, so then I decided, I gotta go work. So I graduated. See, I was the kind of guy, like, I told you guys, like, I was gonna prove everybody wrong, right? I come back from Kansas State now. I'm taking all it's PE classes, but it's zoology, and physiology, and anatomy. And in Kansas State, you take them with the pre-med students. So I come back Hawaii, and I'm going to go to physiology, which is the last and the toughest of the classes. So they tell me I got to take anatomy again. And I look at them, and you take anatomy in the PE department.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever took classes in a PE department, but you know, it's. So I says, you know what? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Let me challenge the class. Give me the test right now, the final. I'll take the final right now. They look at me. They go, oh, I guess maybe we don't need to do that, right? So they put me into the physiology class. But that's how I was, right?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Don't tell me I go second grade education. So the other thing happened at UH too was, so I graduate. And I took that physiology class and I aced it. See, that's the other thing. You know, when I was in high school, I graduated 2.2. And that's part of it, the reason my counselor told me you never make it. I graduated from college with 3.4.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to graduate, and then I'm in the School of Education. So they tell me, oh, you're going to do your student teaching at Kailua High School. So I'm going, why? He says, because you got to do them on the wall. He says, what sense did that make? So I went to see the head of the PE department, and I said, I'd like to go back to my student teaching on Maui. I get my family. I'm paying so much money a month over here. I can live with my in-laws. You know, food, everything will be free. What's this? This doesn't make sense. I said, no, that's the way it is. So I petitioned the Department of Education at University of Hawaii.
There you go.
Yeah, I petitioned them. I says, think about it. Us, the Maui people, I was talking only about me, but I says, you know how much money and all this. So they approved it.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
So we were the first people. It was me, these two other girls. They became teachers too. But we were all able to do our student teaching on Maui. But you know, again, that's me. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I'll go do whatever I need to do to make it right.
Yeah.
And most of the time I was fortunate in that way, you know. So then I came back and then did my teaching on Maui. And then my student teaching was under Shine Matsui again at Maui High. And you're supposed to go and observe the class for like 6 weeks, and then you take over the class in 6 weeks. Shine, the first day, goes, this is Curtis Lee, he's from UH, he's a former player, this and that. Okay, Kurt, I'll see you. He walks out. Never saw him again. And then,
talk about going to the wolves.
Yeah, right.
And then our supervisor, she goes, okay, Shine, she knew Shine. So Shine, you know, you guys PE, me elementary school teacher, you know what I mean? I don't think we need to meet every month. So it kind of went like that.
Yeah.
But then I taught at Maui High, of course, and then from Maui High, I went to college school, and I went, I'm trying to get this. Well, let me tell you how we got into college school. So I'm in Maui High. Maui High going to close the school that year now. That's the last year, 1970, 71. They're going to close the school. They're building a new school. So now I'm going, my wife wants to go back to UH and graduate. So, my first wife. So anyway, we're going to Honolulu. So I go down to see the district officer over here. Says, oh, you know, will I go back to Honolulu? Can you find me one position, one teaching position? You know, because now I'm a full-fledged teacher. So he says, yeah, okay, because they meet at Honolulu, all the personnel people. So I go see him, you know, about a month. You hear anything? He tells me no. He says, no more any jobs, Honolulu. You know, and when I came back, they wanted me to go to Lanai, Molokai, or Hana. That's another thing. I sat in that office and I said, crazy, what? I got my family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be moving out there. So I waited. And then So now we're going to move Honolulu instead. So, no problem. Goes on, no more job. So I go, no. Then I get this letter from this Los Banos or whatever, from Honolulu. He's the personnel officer. I get an offer from Honolulu High School, and I get an offer from Radford. No, it's Radford and Kailua. I get 2 offers. I take, being who I am, I take them to the district specialist over here, right, on Maui. I go in and say, Mr. So-and-so, get any jobs? No more nothing. Honolulu, get no jobs. I bring up your name every meeting and whatever. I throw the 2 papers on the table. I thought, which one do you think I should take? Shine had called those guys.
Yeah.
Hey, call those guys, got me a job. You know what I mean? Again, right?
Yeah.
This man, until the end, he can do this. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So.
Yeah. So even with that, when you got into coaching, even like.
Well, so I started. Well, when when I became a junior, senior, I was in dentistry. I was going to become a dentist in college. And if I'm a junior year, I go like, oh man, I don't know. I like coaching, maybe I can coach and give something back, become a teacher and whatever. So my mind started going like that. It started going, I'm going to pay him back. I'm going to give another kid this opportunity, what this guy is doing for me. So I came back, then I went to college school, went Kihei. I ended up at Baldwin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so everybody got to start at the bottom. Sorry. All you Maui guys, forgive me. You guys know me anyway. So anyway.
That was your first actual coaching gig then?
So I got a job at Baldwin, PE teacher. And then I started the weight room over there. And I'm coaching with those guys over there. I'm coaching JV, so I coached JV for 3 or 4 years. Then I go to the varsity, and then so I'm on the varsity, and then at that time too, the way Baldwin was going, like every time somebody would retire, they would give the job to the next coach down. Right? So it actually came my turn. I could have been head coach at Baldwin. Except that when my turn came, the principal turned around and hired somebody else.
Oh.
So I was kind of disgruntled. So I said, well, I can see where it's going, you know what I mean? So we're going to be friends. We're still friends. Me, Mel Mukai, we're good friends. But I told him, I cannot coach you guys.
Yeah.
I cannot coach like this, you know what I mean? So anyway, so Shine comes to see me. Maui High get an opening. So he says, oh, come apply for the job. So I go, you sure, coach? He tell me, yeah, apply for the job. I go on committee. We're going to open up the job, you can interviews, whatever. So, okay, they call me. I go in for the interview. There's 6 people on the interview committee. A couple teachers, a couple businessmen, the student body president, one of the football players. He was on the committee. So I go to the interview. The next day, he calls me and says, you got the job. All right, coach. I say, he says, you got the job, so whatever. That very night, he calls me back. He tells me, hey, I'm sorry, but the principal changed his mind. And he had told me, you had 6 out of the 7 votes. You know what I mean? The only one I never get was the student. But anyway, he said, the principal changed his mind. He can hire somebody else. You know Shine Matsui? He was the AD at Maui High for ever. He started Title IX. He go way back. He resigned. He said, if this is how it's going to be, because I set up the committee. This boy came and applied and whatever. We hire him, and you turn around and hire somebody else. I don't want to have anything to do with you guys. So he resigned from the AD. He went back to the classroom. In the state, this man was so respected by all the ADs and coaches, Eddie Hamada guys, Ginoza guys, all the big timers from Honolulu, all knew him. The first thing they did, they called the school. We're not having anything to do with Maui High. So you can cancel the Maui High baseball tournament, which has been running for so many years, and we all came on our own money and whatever to support Shine Matsui. You can forget about it.
Yeah.
But never take long, he was hired back.
Yeah.
So it went a couple of years, I think, 1 or 2 years, and Maui High was losing, whatever. But the coach decided he wasn't going to coach. I'm not going to mention names. But, he decided he wasn't going to coach. So now I get an opening, right? I'm at Baldwin, I'm not coaching, I'm teaching. He comes to see me, him and Ransom Wong. He comes, hey, go apply for that job. I tell Coach, what? I look dumb or what? I think I'm stupid. Or, you think I'm going to shoot that against it? It's not going to happen like that. I promise you. But I had known what he did too, so I knew he was serious. You know what I mean? And he said, I want you to come back. And I said, okay. He said, apply for the job. I said, you sure? He said, yeah, I want you there. Apply for the job. So I applied for the job, I got the job, right? So the first year I'm coaching, so I started the weight room, all this. But Maui High at that time had so much talent, it was unreal. They had lost every game that year. And, well, you can figure out. But anyway, so I get in there, and then he schedules, unheard of, he schedules 4 preseason games. Nobody does that. But he wanted to give me, this is my first head coaching job, right? So he wanted to give me experience in the preseason. He schedules 4 preseason games. We lose them all. I'm thinking, after the 4th game, we even lose to Japan now. One high school team from Japan came over here, and Maui High was busting them up every year, and we lose to them. I'm thinking, ooh, Coach Matsui must be going crazy. I was going, what the heck did we do? We hired this guy. He don't even can coach, right? So
started from the bottom, though.
No, it did, yeah. And you know our team song that first year? It was 3 Little Birds.
Bob Marley.
Yeah. Don't worry about a thing.
Yeah.
Cause every little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was our song. The kids picked that song. You know?
Yeah.
And we used to play them on a bus and all. I was big into those kinds of stuff. You know, Never Surrender.
Yeah. Music too in general.
Music, because that's the kids, right?
Yeah.
One of our songs was Air at Night. You guys have, what's his name? Phil Collins?
Yeah, Phil Collins.
Yeah.
I can feel it coming in the air at night, right?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this moment for all my... The first time I heard that song now, because I don't know these songs. I only know reggae songs. Right? Edrolino Valdez tells me, Coach, this is going to be our song. He plays them for me. I'm going like, doo-doo, doo-doo, and all this stuff, right? And I'm going, but... I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. You play that on a bus going to the stadium.
Yeah. Motivate.
But anyway, again, you know, things like that, right? But so we lose all 4 preseason games. But we end up winning the MIL.
Oh, okay.
Us and St. Anthony, I think it was. We ended up tied. St. Anthony was very upset. They thought they were supposed to win them, but we beat them head to head. They won the first round. Because it was 2 rounds, so, but you only played 3 games, right? We played Lahaina Luna Ball in St. Anthony, and we played them again, but we beat them in the 2nd round, and they had lost to somebody else, I think. So we ended up champions that first year, after 0-4 start.
Yeah, straight to champs.
Yeah, and then we won 84, we won champions 85, champions 86, champions 87, 4 straight years. First time in the history of the MIL.
Oh, so that kind of sparked the beginning of your whole...
That was, I mean,
career.
You know, after that, it was like, you know, coaching, he must know what he's doing. But yeah, it was, you know, it was no nonsense. I used to bring in the parents, you know. I had communication. I had a handbook. All these little things that nobody else was doing. And I think people ask me what was the difference, right? Or what I think was the big difference. Part of it was because I had gone to college. I came back, and my first defensive coordinator was Rory Canberra. He's my cousin, and he had gone to college. Stephen Onaga went to Linfield. I had college guys coaching. All the other schools, they The Lahaina coach went to Lahaina. The Baldwin coach went to Baldwin. So then the coach went to St. Anthony. What they know?
Yeah. They're just grandfather.
I mean, you know, I
It's
don't
a
want to
next
put it
level
that
thing.
way, but that was the big difference.
Yeah.
And then the other big key was weightlifting. I came back when I went up there. Weightlifting was getting into the colleges, was getting big. The pros were already doing it, but the colleges were just starting. I go to college, right? And they're just starting to lift weights. I'm one of the strongest guys on the team. I'm playing at Kansas State now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The All-American running back that we had, Cornelius Davis, he's 6'3", 200 pounds. Our lineman is 6'7", 6'5", 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never saw people like that in my life on Maui. I was the stud. You know what I mean? At 5'8". Yeah. And you know, but but they cannot lift any weights because they never. It wasn't emphasized. Or whatever.
So you kind of would you say you kind of bought that over to Maui with you and then introduced that into
Kurt,
Maui High?
I came back, well, when I started at Baldwin, because that was my first coaching, you know, and I was talking to the coaches over there, said, we got to get one weight room and get all these kids in the weight room. And the baseball coach there, who had won state titles already. I mean, Baldwin was big time, you know, in the 60s. They were big time, baseball. And they're going, oh, no, we cannot have our kids lifting weights. You know, they're going to get muscle bound. I said, really? You cannot have them lift? So you got to call the Dodgers and the Yankees and all these guys and tell them they cannot be lifting weights because they're all doing them. They're professionals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was the mentality. So I kind of had to break away from that. Then I knew I wasn't going to stay in a classroom because, you know, I was PE. And then I started the weight room at Baldwin. And then when I went to Maui High. And so now I'm going Maui High, right? My first year, I got to go play against Baldwin, all these kids who's been lifting weights for 3 years under me. And I'm going, ooh, I can mention some names. You know, I'm going like, ooh, we got to go play these guys now. You know what I mean? But
that must have been kind of cool for see some of your guys play against them.
No, but you know, and then we started that at Maui High. So if you ask me, that's the other key. The key was we're stronger than everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, big time.
Yeah.
Our kids, and in fact, I used to take teams to Honolulu. We won state championships. You know, but it was Maui High and Baldwin kids.
Yeah.
You know, I would bring the Baldwin kids over, Emily Rodriguez, Van Waki, and those guys. They used to train in Maui High.
Yeah.
And we used to go to the state.
Brandon's father.
And we used to go to the state and blow Honolulu.
Really?
Or not the first year, but,
Yeah,
you know,
but, you know.
that's another thing about coaching, right? So the first year I take my kids to Honolulu. We get these guys benching 300 pounds, squatting 400 pounds, you know. Big timers, 315 maybe. You know, they're the record holder over here.
Yeah.
Take them to Honolulu, and Honolulu's kids squatting 500 pounds, benching 400 pounds.
Yeah.
But they see it.
Right?
Now,
And
all
then
of a
motivate
sudden,
them.
how do you tell a kid you can do that? But when he see it, you look at it, you know what I mean? You come home.
Different story.
In 3 weeks, this kid is like 100 pounds stronger.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was big all the time on, you know, a lot of things with off-season program. And if you came to the gym at Maui High, I had in the center beam in our weight room upstairs, I had a top 20 off-season. Right? So the kids used to fight to get these T-shirts. So if you made top 20, I bought you one shirt. You could wear them around school.
Yeah.
You know, they tell me today, Coach, you don't know how proud we was.
Yeah. Of
But we
course.
fought for get that shirt just
Yeah.
to wear them in school. Again, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? And then I had the first, this is off-season. So I test them in spring and I test them in August, just summer camp, right? So now your name going all 40 whatever players. I have on chart. I have all the scores, everything. You look at that every day. You come into the locker room. You know, this is the kind of stuff to me, motivation, right? And they come there and you know, and it was geared so it was 40-yard dash, shuttle run, and I forget what we call it, the square, you know, you back paddle, sideways, agility.
Yeah.
And then was bench press, squat, and deadlift. So kind of, if you were fast, you had an advantage, and if you were strong, you had a. So the first guy won there was this guy, Tony Pasquale. He was a linebacker, and he unfortunately he's passed already, but he won that the first year. And then the second year was this guy Russell Brown, one Hawai'i boy from haiku.
Yeah.
I brought him up his junior year. He came up. We run in agilities. He's falling all over the place. I'm going, this boy look at play football. Right? His senior year, he's all-star defensive tackle.
Right.
And he's number 1 on the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just got to put in that work. Yeah.
You know, I get kids come in freshman year, they look up there and they tell me, Coach, I'm going to be up there.
Yeah.
That's all you need, right? Kids tell you when they walk into your locker room, I'm going to be up there. And that's why it's there, right? They all like be there. I want to be top 20, so I can walk around school with one shirt that says top 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. My awards banquet, I give shirts and awards for anybody with 3.0. You know, because if you're gonna tell them it's important, make it important and recognize them.
Yeah, recognize them.
People forget all these things that I did as a coach. Yeah, a lot of people don't do this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know. And I'll tell you the biggest difference probably is, and I don't wanna, but we had videos, right? And again, those days where it was VHS, 8 tracks, right?
Yeah.
You know, or Sony, whatever, right? And you'd play it through and reverse and play them through and reverse. And Dennis Yamagata, who was a teacher at the old school when I was there, and he was a teacher at Maui High, he volunteers to video all my games, him and my wife. For like 20 years they did that. I mean, you know, you just have people that do things because they believe in you. You know?
Yeah.
And but we'd watch videos and break it down every single day. We had meetings. Every Sunday we meet at my house. All my coaches, mandatory. We meet in my house. We watch all the videos, break down offense, break down defense, right? My wife goes to church on Sundays, right? But football season, she's calling me, Dad, can we come home now? her and my girls, my 4 girls, can I come home until the meeting is over? That's how crazy it was. But you know, when I left, and the coaches who came after me, I asked the kids, right, because I was still teaching for them, you guys watch videos? No. Really?
You know, break down film, nothing.
Nothing. You get the greatest coaching aid available, and you're not using them? And, you know, I mean, I'll say it because all our coaches came after me. I think only one of them ever did that. And I keep telling them, but they, for some reason, cannot see it.
Yeah.
Not, you know, to me, that's time well spent.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, when you break down videos and stuff like that, there's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like when we coach, we never thought about time. Whatever it's going to take, that's all it's going to take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we practice Saturdays. Sometimes we practice Sundays. The only reason you were excused is you went to church. I had kids lying to me. They were going to church. The other kids tell me, Coach, you know so-and-so, he's not going to church. He telling you stay at church, but he's not going to church. I go, really?
Yeah. And what? That's when you would hit him with the hammer.
That's another hammer. And that's the thing too. The hammer, you bring it back to today's world, right? And coaching. But you see, those days we could do a lot of things. You know what I mean? Coaching, it wasn't as strict, right? Like anything else in life, you know, things that happened 40, 50 years ago, you're not able to do that today. And so, what was I talking about? The hammer, right? So I'm coaching and we're running the hammer. And then one day I start thinking, I go, hey, you know what? Because now it's starting to get people getting sued, you know? And I'm going, hey, maybe it's not a good idea. Because, you know, if a kid, because I used to run kids until they drop, you know? No, I tell you, I did. The ambulance got to come.
For those who don't know what that is, the hammer, try to explain what that is.
The hammer is if you did anything wrong or if you mispractice, Because my thinking was, if you miss practice, I cheating you if I don't make up for that practice. That's the mentality I would tell the kids, you know. So again, the hammer was you had to do jogging drops for every 5 yards or every 10 yards. I forget what it was. 100 yards and back, and 500 yards. And by the end of that, whatever you did that earned you that, you never did it again.
Yeah.
But we ran kids, and some kids we might have done gone too far, but but they learned a lesson.
So
anyway,
made them champions.
So later, but in the end, it became the reminders, because I'm going, no, one of these kids, something really happens, right? And we go to court, and they go say, what, how did this happen? Oh, he was running a hammer. Oh, you hammer your kids. Right?
Right? Because they can twist them.
I said, well, no, now it's called the reminders. Right? So this is a reminder not to do what you did. So, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. So all the coaches out there, that's one blueprint on how to be a successful coach in Maui, man.
The bottom line, Kurt, is that nobody outworked us. I don't care what anybody tells you. And my kids knew that.
Yeah.
When you got off of that bus Friday or Saturday night at the stadium, watch out. He was playing Maui High. And I tell you, I had things like, everybody got off the bus. You had to have your helmet on. We'd be going to the stadium. Nobody talks on the bus. From Maui High to the stadium, nobody talks. I tell them, you talking, I'm coming back there, I'm grabbing you and throwing you off this bus. Nobody talk. When we get on this bus, it's all football. You start thinking about the game, when we get to the stadium, you can come off of that bus, all the coaches walk out first. We get online. Every one of you, look us in the eye. Right? Because I want to know if you're ready to play. And I'm going to tell you how that started. Some people not going to hear this story. But when I first went Maui High, I knew there were some things going on that wasn't supposed to. But I used to tell them, when you come off that bus, I'm going to look in your eyes. You know what I used to look for? Glassy eyes. You guys all know why,
Yeah.
I don't even tell these guys. But I used to look, if you get glassy eyes. And these kids used to, Jonah was on that bus. You were on the bus.
We rode the bus.
Come off of this bus, the kids going like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. But small things like that. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
They
definitely not.
Yeah. But I made them change their friends. I say, football season, you're not hanging around over there in school. Because I know what's going on over there. You know what I mean? You're not hanging over there. After the season, you can go back to those guys. I don't care. Right? You choose. But during the season, you guys hanging around in certain people.
Oh, man,
I feel like that even...
No, it's all those small things, that you got to take care of, you know? I tell you guys honestly, I used to look at, I had 4 girls, right? And my wife and my girls went through hell during the season. My wife had to do everything, because I was just football and that was it. But I tell everybody, I didn't have any sons. I had 44 sons. And I was going to teach them life lessons, things that made me successful in what I did, and make sure they got it. Because I tell you, some of these kids, they don't have it at home. You got to tell them. And I used to tell my kids, the day I get one call from your mom or your dad, did you incest them or you never do your chores because you said you had to go football practice, you're not going to be able to walk when you leave this field. No calls from home. As your parents. You do whatever you got to do. And they knew it. He says, I get on call. He said, you got to go practice so he can finish this or whatever. Get on the line.
Just kind of wrap them up. I'm sure everybody that watching like know that what now that football and coaching and teaching is you all retired now. So what you and grandma up to, now that you guys live in the retired life?
Well, we deserve it. We worked hard. We both worked 30-something years at our companies, and now You know, I tell everybody I just staying alive to take all the money from Social Security. I'm not worried about the young guys. I could take care of myself.
Yeah, not gonna reach
so,
the young guys.
Yeah, we used to go Vegas a lot, and then we discovered cruising on the ships, and it's much more enjoyable. And basically, because for me anyway, I'm a real selfish person. I want her all to myself. So when we're on the ship, she's strapped. She can't go to place. She gotta hang with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At home, it's I gotta take the grandkids here.
Yeah.
I gotta take the grandkids there. I gotta go get this. She get excuses, but not on the ship.
Ship is just you guys too.
Yeah, but I still do my orchids. You know, I mean, like I said, anything that you do well, you know, you're proud of it. And so I'm a show off. Everybody know you know when you come to my house. You gonna know my house. I get all my orchids all in the front yard, all blooming. You know what I mean? So, but I play golf and I work out every day. And well, not every day, but more than not. You know, at least 5 days a week I ride my bike, and because I want to stay healthy. Because that's been my whole life. I've been physical my whole life. I've been a health guy. I mean, people going to say, Coach Lee, what health guy about with the amount that you know the amount of things he do, but I still take care of myself and work out, and I play golf. I go golf because see, again, everything gotta have a purpose. Like I work out every day because I gotta circulate my blood. You know what I mean? I get relatives who on dialysis, and I look at the Hawaiian culture, people in that culture, and they prone to dialysis. So when I get on my bike, I'm going, they go in dialysis, I'm gonna ride my bike.
Health is wealth.
So you gotta prevention, right? Proactive prevention. So I do that. I'm proud of that. And then I go golf for the social interaction. I tell everybody, so I'm at home, I'm talking to my wife and my grandkids or whatever, but I'm not talking to anybody else. But if you go golf 2 days a week, I'm with my friends from college, my teaching friends. We joking, we having a ball out there, So you stimulate your mind in that way, because otherwise you're at home, you're just thinking about things, and the things that I think about is not always good,
Definitely.
So I spend a lot of time in my yard. I'm proud of our yard.
Roger.
But Papa, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Taking the time. Being grandma coming down to the join us in. I'm sure everybody wanted to see what you guys up to, especially nowadays.
Thank you so much for being on us.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Pops.
Real Talk Maui. We out.
Yes.
Mahalo.